Now there will be virtual type meetings that are going on for players as well, where they're going to go over, installations and those kind of things, right? Those are going on starting now for the Browns.
Yes, they started today. So they had their first virtual meeting today. They're allowed to do that now. And JC confirmed for us that did start today. And he did have a conversation with Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry about why they don't want to do these in-person workouts, and cited some of those statistics that we have talked about. So I think it's pretty safe to say that the Browns will probably not be showing up in Berea till the end of July. So that gives everybody a lot of time to figure some things out. But yes, it'll be like last year. I mean, they will do virtual installation. Right now, it's just meetings. It's not even sort of, the on-field stuff that was happening anyways. It's just workouts and meetings.
When you look at training camp, do you think there will be some sort of training camp, and do you expect there to be remember last year, no preseason games. Do you expect there to be at least a couple? And again, I get it, with the preseason games, you used it to try to figure out the back half of your roster most of the time.
Well, I'll tell you what, they started citing some very interesting statistics today on the call about how many COVID cases and things there are right now in this sort of surge that's going on. And Dr. Tom Mayer from the NFLPA, their medical director, cited some very eye-opening statistics about how the cases are on the rise and higher than they were at this time last year. So therefore, I think that these guys will do everything that they possibly can to minimize any kind of preseason games and things like that. But those things won't be easy. They're going to really have to sit down with the NFL, again, at the bargaining table. And if anything is changed in terms of mandatory minicamp and preseason games, they're going to have to work that out together. Now, what's going on right now, these were voluntary. So voluntary for them, for the NFLPA, is almost like a no-brainer not to show up for those. But it starts to get a little bit different when you get into a mandatory situation.
And again, you certainly understand. I understand a coach's thing is he wants his guys on the field. I certainly understand a player's perspective with, these are things that could potentially shorten my career. So they're going to have to figure out and bargain it out. And as you mentioned, that 17th game, the players gave them. So you got to believe there will be some give by ownership's side.
Yeah, I would think so, but they also make money on the preseason games because, as we all know, I mean, you have to pay as much to go to a preseason game as you do for a regular season game. When you're a season ticket holder, those are also included in the package. So therefore, there is a lot of money involved in this. But just in terms of training camp per se, they did a ramp up last year, and I think players really liked that, the way that worked out. I mean, you didn't have a whole bunch of hitting in the early going. It was, just kind of taking your time and ramping up to the point where you were actually doing some hitting and some pads and things like that. So they want exactly what they did last year. They don't want to change a thing. And in a perfect world, they wouldn't even play preseason games.